Poor Artists, where we're poor at being like men, but mostly we're poor at making art. My name's Ben.
And I'm Isaac. And we are men. Not just... Wait, we're poor at being like men?
Yeah,
I don't...
that's what I said.
I don't know if I signed off on this opening. Because we are like men. In fact, we are. And always have been. And always will be. Because that's...
Yeah, but we're still
men.
like poor.
We're poor men. But we're not poor at... I mean, I wouldn't say I'm poor at being.
Yeah. I mean,
man.
we're drawing not like men or not like a man.
Okay,
or
so
whatever.
yes.
But like it would have just like poor at being not like a man. It's just too long, too many negatives.
Yeah, that's true.
I just figured I'll keep it simple.
So you said we're not like men.
Yeah.
That's how you kept it simple.
Yeah, that's how I
Because
kept
this
it
has been
simple.
such a simple explanation of why you said that.
Mm-hmm.
No. But we are drawing the title Not Like a Man.
Mm-hmm.
Because that apparently is what we have to draw today.
Yeah, that
The
was
art world-
sermon title we've been given.
Yep, that is how the art world... Because we have discussed this many times. But if you truly are looking for like a phrase or a title for something that hasn't been thought of before,
Right.
sermon titles do a pretty good job.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because they're based on some kind of truth normally, or some kind of like you want people to be intrigued by the title, but you also want it to tie to something from the Bible.
We've said this many times, but sermon titles are the original clickbait.
Mm-hmm.
Like they used to put it on like the billboard thing out front.
What did I do?
I don't know. What did you do? Did you push like the undo button?
Oh gosh.
So you undid.
We'll fix
my
that in a second.
canvas change. Yeah, but like they used to put the sermon title like on the, it's like, oh, you got to come see this sermon. Wait, why are you writing on there? Now you have to delete all that too.
Yeah, but again, sermon titles are great. Not like a man. Sure, we're definitely manly. That's not the... Which of us would you say is manlier? You have a longer beard,
Mm-hmm.
but I have chest hair.
Yep. I don't think hair is what most people determine manliness
I think
by.
it helps. Like the more you look like the man you mistake for a bear, like is a pretty manly man. Like there might be someone manlier than him, but it certainly helps. Like when you look like a wild beast of a like Beauty and the Beast, man. What a man he was. He
You
was
mean
so...
Gaston?
No, not Gaston.
Can you be manlier than Gaston?
You can if you're literally a beast.
I think the beast was an animal. Like that's no longer being like a man.
He was a man. He spoke and walked like a man.
like a
Fought
furry.
like a man. He loved like a man.
I'll never admit that a furry is more manly than
No,
Gaston.
Gaston is pretty manly. I'll admit that. That movie's just full of manly men.
Mm-hmm.
And LeFou. But, not everyone can be manly.
No.
Some people are not like a man at all.
Yes, and that's what we're drawing today.
Yes,
if you ever
if
start
I ever
drawing.
start drawing. It's because to draw this, you have to really think it through. You have to think of what the heck is a not manly man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my knowledge of how to draw vehicles is how to draw like 1970s vehicles when it was kind of like a lot of straight lines, a lot of headlights that were like, the trunk is like straight. This isn't even the trunk. This is the front of the car.
Right.
The wheels on the car.
Yeah, cars. You always think, oh, they're such a simple shape,
They just aren't.
and then you try to draw one, and you realize that it's
No,
just.
you ever seen those like commercials of the guys who like design cars? They're like take it and they mold it out of clay, and apparently that's still like the standard for how you're supposed to make a car.
Oh, you have to like be able to test its aerodynamics.
Yeah, I
and
know.
stuff.
That's true. There's an art to it. and we're poor at art. So I'm by definition poor at drawing cars.
What? What happened to the wheel?
This is an old car. This is one of those abstract hubcaps from the 70s.
I mean, it would work.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole point, right? Like, you know how you can, how you know if you're like, you're not that poor. It's because you have a car that like doesn't have hubcaps. Because hubcaps are like the plasticky things that you stick on top of the actual rim of the car.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have like rims for your car, like you don't have to have that plastic piece on the outside. You've made it to a new tier of car owning.
Mm-hmm.
This person has really old, cracked, nasty, plasticky 1971 hubcaps thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's rough. This is not a good car. And that's exactly what I was trying to convey.
Okay. Good. You conveyed that.
Thanks for that. In fact, it's so bad the wheel's not even technically attached.
Yeah. Well, the wheel wouldn't be attached to that part anyways. You would have in the middle of the axle is where it would be attached.
That's an angle.
Yeah. See, like what is that window?
See, 1970s cars.
Because that's not the windshield. The windshield's in the front.
Had inexplicable two-part windshields. Not very safe.
Mm-hmm.
Not very. This is still the era when they were like, what? Seatbelts? In cars? All of them?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that. And then even when they did, they were like those ones that just want to cross your lap. And
they're like less safe than not wearing a seatbelt.
Uh-huh. That's the era I'm going for.
Oh.
Oh dear.
It's just like a house door. Not a car. Perfect rectangle. I don't think there was an era.
Oh no, it has to have one of those hang on. To have one of those like antennas coming up. You know the type. The ones that people used to remember when they used to have those Jack-in-the-Box heads that everybody would put on their antennas and then they just stopped making car antennas.
You'd get like a free like something that Jack and buy, like a small fry or something.
Mm-hmm. They're kind of like those frosty keychains you used to buy, or you can still buy, but you put them on your car. And they were cool because they were. Ooh, this car is somewhere in between horribly old and very futuristic.
I think the next car I'm gonna buy, I'm gonna custom make it so it just has a house door. As it's like,
do you remember?
Doors.
Do you remember the mayor? The mayor of Apache Junction? We've said this before on the show, but it's worth reminding you. We live next to a city, if you can call it that, that's just the worst, called Apache Junction, and it's kind of like
now. To be fair, it's a million times better than Phoenix.
Yeah, but it's just super ghetto in a really weird way.
I'm not disagreeing with you that it's the worst.
Yeah,
I'm just also saying
it's worse in a different
Phoenix.
way than Phoenix. Phoenix has nice buildings some places. AJ really doesn't.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose a people group, AJ is probably more American.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that we saw a car driving down the street and it had there was no car door. Instead, it was just like a plank of wood.
Yep.
Bolted on.
Yep.
And we called it. And it was so bad, but we called him the mayor of AJ because it was just very fitting. Okay,
it's the most AJ car you could have.
Okay, the point is this house is crap, or this car is crap.
Is it?
Yes, look at
smoking?
It is,
or does it stink really bad?
It's a fair distinction, but I didn't draw flies.
Like the cliff, like it's just right off the cliff.
That's the driveway. Somehow I have drawn this house far too close to the car.
Did it crash into the house?
It's just how the house is built.
Perfect spot for the car to pull up to.
It was a custom house for this car.
Like a docking station.
What I mean, this is almost futuristic. You just because like those electric car people, they don't want to have to plug in their car. They would just like pull it into the plug it in.
Yeah, this is an electric car with a docking station.
See, in the future, once your car becomes just like somewhere you don't have to drive, you just like sit in it. They're gonna try to design it to look more like your house. They're gonna put house doors on it, multiple windows instead of one big window you look out of, because you're not gonna have to be able to see fully because you're not driving anymore.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So
makes sense to me.
The 70s blockiness style is gonna come back.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this isn't like a nice car because it has crappy hubcaps still. Those are going to come back in style.
Yeah, it's a bad future car.
This is a bad future car, but this is the docking station. Yeah, that makes sense. And inside, there's a giant window. Because, as you know, in the future, cars aren't going to have big windows in the front.
But
homes are.
Yeah, so that everyone can see into your house.
Yeah, because you're going to be like, I'm so sick of sitting in a thing all day on my way to work where I can't see out very well. I get home, I just want to see everyone everywhere.
Yeah. People don't even have like TVs or anything. They'll just have a giant window.
Because they watch TV in their car all day. They're going to be so sick of it.
They just look out.
Yeah. Yeah. And in this home, we find Martha.
She's like a rabbit?
just I can't draw if you're
just keeps going.
She has many fingers. Okay.
Like, that's not like, because none of those are the thumb.
It's her driving gloves. Driving gloves.
But she still has 5 fingers with no thumb. It's a 6-fingered person, and the thumb is weirdly not attached.
This is just an extra comfort finger. Like, this family can't afford the finest of things, so she bought some secondhand gloves that just happen to have 6 fingers. It's more common in the future to have 6 fingers due to like the radioactive stuff that powers your car.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You have to plug in and it docks with your house. So, but she doesn't actually have. It might look like it. 5 fingers in a 6-finger glove. It actually goes around a little X on this one, so people know she's not one of the 6-finger freaks, as she calls them. This is Martha. I'm afraid to keep going because
it's like a snake, like a cobra.
This is her hair.
Her hair is so bad.
Not as bad as the rest of her.
Like, it's like a female mullet, and her forehead.
I had to go with something futuristic.
Fully exposed.
This is like 1950s style hair, where like the women had it and it like flipped back in an unnatural way. But more extreme because we're in the 2050s now.
Right. It's just not good looking.
Well, you can tell her that when she gets home. Well, when she gets home. Oh. Her arm is so big.
What's the plan here?
I should not have drawn the hand first. Because it's so... I just have to go with it.
What side of the box is this?
Sure.
Where's her other arm? With the other arms behind?
This hand is much closer to the camera
Yeah,
than you would think.
Right, but what is like? Why is it coming from her left shoulder?
It's not. It's coming. This is.
But you drew the V-neck, and then you drew.
This is coming from this shoulder.
But
Just
look at where the V-neck is.
don't look at the V-neck too hard. This is the potato sack style from the 2050s. It's a dress, but the armhole, again, thrift store find, is in the front. It's the style of the future.
Okay.
That's not even the point. The point is this is not a man, so now we have to draw a man. The mullet came back in style for men too in the future.
His hair is like the exact same as hers.
It's cool in the future for couples to match. I forgot the nose. I guess it's down here. Oh. Oh. That doesn't look as bad as I thought. It looks better than her.
Yeah, that's true. Like, guys are allowed to have terrible hair. His arm makes sense.
Yes, thank you for... I realize. He is so much better looking than his wife.
Like,
maybe I'll hang on. Maybe I'll try to work it into the storyline here. Why she's so grotesque. Let's see.
I mean, maybe that's just what the standard for beauty is in the future.
Yeah, you know how it changes.
Yeah, I mean, look at Bible times. King Solomon apparently thought having your neck look like a tower was attractive.
That's just because he wrote a love poem about it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Like
modern day Solomon would be like, and your arm protrudes from the stomach area. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the car broke down. Yeah, you know, this is a common future problem still.
Mhm.
They're not making... Cars are going to get worse in the future.
Yeah.
And then, you know, husbands aren't going to change. Men aren't going to change in the future. They're just going to try to solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Can't you just walk? They live next door.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a reasonable solution to this problem.
What's our title again? Not Like a Man?
Yeah, not like a man.
I need you to... what is he going to say? This is just a common everyday occurrence in the future. You and the present and the past.
Mm-hmm.
To think... Not... She talks in weird backwards speak. Like, a man stop solving everything. See, her name's what did I say? Martha.
Martha. Yeah.
So
like
she has
Superman and Batman's separate.
That's
moms.
why she's gonna be named it. Everyone who knows Superman, Batman's mom is Martha is like, man, that's what I want my kid's name to be. So that in the future, that's what everyone's daughter's name is gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as stop trying to solve everything, future men's name is gonna be like, stop trying to solve everything. What's a cool future name that people are gonna name their kids? Like,
it'll probably be like random
Prince.
letters and numbers.
Humperdinck.
Like from the Princess Bride.
Exactly. Everyone loves that movie. And he's the favorite character.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna disagree with that.
You should. Oh, this is just all one giant. I don't even know how they're talking. He's just like up here. Yeah, he's just thinking like a man about the problem.
Yeah.
Not even like, I'm going to fix the car kind of thing. Just like, I know that car is on its way out, Martha. Like, I've been telling you for years, we need to stop driving around your ex-husband's car. No, late husband's car. He died in a tragic automobile accident.
Yeah, in this car.
And he willed the car. Well, not willed it, but like left it to her. And Prince Humperdinck didn't have a future car. He's one of those classics. Drives like a carriage. Like a future carriage. You know, because I was reading this article the other day about how they're big cargo ships in the ocean. Like they're modernizing them by adding giant windlass or like non-electric sails, metal sails to them, and they're like praising themselves for like, look at our ingenuity. It's going to save so much fuel, and people are like, are you kidding me? Like you just put sails on a ship, and they're saying it's.
They've been doing that for.
Yeah, so there's going to be like a modern age thing where they're like, well, if I just make a horse bring me to work in my carriage, my future carriage with Wi-Fi, then I won't have to pay for gas.
I was watching that said that people are starting to call Gen Z the Columbus generation because they keep thinking that they're inventing new things or discovering things.
That's pretty great.
That are just like things that everyone already knew about, but they're like discovering them.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be the person who designs future cars. It'll be like, it's not sleek and cool looking, it's boxy.
Yeah, what
everyone wants. No one's ever had cars like because they've never seen a car that looks like that by the 2050s.
Right.
So this is just gonna be your average day. People are gonna have cooler names in the future. Like Superman's mom's name and Prince Humperdinck, and cars are gonna be boxy and plug into your house.
His first name is Prince Humperdinck.
She's upset with him using his middle name.
Oh, okay.
His first name is Prince, but he doesn't. I mean, nobody wants to go by Prince. They'll think you're that weird singer from the '80s. Name
well, I mean, they probably won't even remember that he existed.
But like, if your name is Prince Humperdinck in the future, your parents, like, you grew up with Princess Bride, and you're proud of it. So he calls himself. People are like, in school, the substitute teacher's like, "Oh, is there a prince here?" He's like, "It's actually Prince Humperdinck, milady." And everyone's like, "Oh, he's so cool."
Right.
And then she's like, "Is there a Martha here?" And everyone's like, "Yes," and like 50 names in chorus are like, "Yes, we're all here, all of us Marthas," because we're all. Some of our parents were Batman fans, some of them were Superman fans, but we're all.
They're always one of their fans.
All Martha.
Yeah.
And Prince Humperdinck. There's also Fezzik. And Inigo Montoya. Oh, that'd be a cooler name, actually. If you were the Prince Humperdinks of the 2050s, you're jealous of all the Inigo Montoyas because it's such a cool name, but it's kind of overdone. And then there's a mysterious guy who sits in the back and wears a mask all day. They just call him the Man in Black.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
He's just like better at everything.
Yeah, and the way that you flirt with each other is by saying "as you wish."
So like the Princess Bride is making a real comeback in the.
It doesn't have to make a comeback. It's already like, who doesn't love Princess Bride? Like, it's
Right, but like
it
it's
becomes
not to this
it
extent.
becomes like the extent of the culture. Like, pop culture is just the Princess Bride.
Right, yeah, because it's all other movies stop being good,
Yeah.
and they just keep
They
re-releasing.
just keep, because you've seen this already happening. Like, movies peaked at some point in our past, even.
Yeah.
So by the time the 1950s or 2050s come around, they're going to be like, we just need something good all the time. What's always been good? No one dislikes it. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Princess Bride. And then that's just what this society decides. They watch it in their driverless car, their self-driving future cars.
Every day on the way to work.
When you look through somebody's giant window, and you see them watching. And you see this scene unfolding.
And then occasionally read Superman or Batman comics.
Well, I mean, everybody does that. Their house is kind of crappy.
Literally cracked.
Yeah. Anyway, this is my rendition of, what is it? Not Like a Man?
Yeah, you've already written it once.
Not like a... Yeah. Not like a man. Yep, you know. Because men are still going to be the same.
Yeah.
In the future. Solving people's problems, and women are still going to be stubbornly pretending they don't want that to happen, even though that's the only thing they actually want.
Yeah, the one thing that will never change. Men.
What wonders to look forward to. All right, your turn. You know, it occurs to me that I never actually explained her ginormous, out of shape hand that's bigger than her and her husband's entire body.
You didn't do that.
I didn't do that. I did draw a lamp in the drawing, though, and I'm just going to say this to kind of wrap it up. It's related to the lamp. That it's up to interpretation at this point, like all art should be.
Right.
But I'm sure people in the future, when they're looking at the two-poor artist gallery, they'll look at her hand and they'll look at the lamp and they'll be like, we get it. Maybe I'll even give it like a subtitle, like Not Like a Man and The Lamp Mystery.
The lamp mystery.
Yeah, so that there'll be some interpretation. Anyway, because when you name your piece is actually quite important.
Right, well, but we write the name on every...
Yeah, but when it's hung and there's like a subtitle under it, they'll be like, oh, this is weird. It's all because he didn't make up his mind about what happened to her hand during their video.
I'm gonna draw feet first strategy.
Feet first. Just the fact that you're drawing feet says something horrifying is going to happen, because you're very against feet. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Never mind. When you just draw a boot, I thought there was going to be like toes and toenails and
this is his.
A little bit of hair that grows on people's big toe that nobody wants to talk about.
One toe.
And everybody wonders if they're supposed to shave it or not, but they probably don't. You ever shave your big toe?
I don't shave anything.
Okay. That's not true. I've seen the parts that are shaved. Like, your beard doesn't always. Your person already looks better than Martha. Foot first. I mean, they're either naked or wearing a onesie at this point, but
well, I haven't drawn all the lines yet.
But I'm just saying, it's. Is that a nose?
No.
Is this like you're drawing the big bad wolf and that's this big long snout?
No.
Someone's kicking this person's head off.
So you were asking earlier which one of us is manlier. I think the way to judge manliness is the Mulan song.
Oh,
so,
the epitome of manhood.
Yeah. So, like, which one of us fits the Mulan song better?
That's a hard list to live by. Unless you're a Chinese woman.
Yeah. Because
So wait, like I'm trying to think of the lyrics now. What parts do I have down? All right, looking up the song. I'll make a man out of you. At least there's hope. So if we're not manly, we can just go to
we can just go to.
Captain Shang.
He can make us a man.
Not like out of Play-Doh or anything, but like mold us into a man.
Yeah.
First thing apparently you got to do is you got to wear in footsie pajamas. I don't remember that line in the song.
Remember, I'm drawing not a man.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the first thing you have to be, according to the song, is tranquil as a forest.
Which one of us is?
I mean,
more tranquil.
You're more tranquil than I am. I don't think anybody on Earth could deny that.
You know what? This guy is wearing a footsie.
I mean, it's kind of like a Bruce Lee looking outfit. You know, when he would like wear like one-piece things, and apparently it was okay.
But it needs
he
to
was
be
cool.
lamer than that. So it has like stripes.
Oh, so he's like in prison, but the stripes are going the wrong way. Is this a future person? Is this future fashion?
No.
This
guy's just terrible.
Are they tranquil as a forest, though?
No.
All right, well, what's the next part of that song, then? They must be swift as the coursing river to be a man. I mean, his leg is moving. Is it moving as swift as a coursing river, though? Better question, which of us moves more like a coursing river? I don't think I've moved like a coursing river in probably 10 years.
If we raced, like,
it would be embarrassing.
I feel like I was faster than you in high school.
You have longer legs. It's not fair.
But like, there's no way we've even close to race since high school.
No. And neither of us are like what people would have considered fast.
Mm-hmm.
We knew the fast kids in school.
Yeah, like I was only the third fastest at the school.
Yeah, I don't know how fast I was at my school. I don't think I remember things like that. Means I probably wasn't very fast. So this prisoner is not like a man.
Yeah.
So he's not tranquil as a forest, and he's not swift as a coursing river. But does he have all the force of a great typhoon?
He's got ears.
Is that response? His ears cause forces like a great typhoon. What does that even mean? How do you live up to that stuff? What in the heck is that? What is that? What have you done? What's wrong with him? What is that thing? He's not even human.
This is tons. Humans have tons.
What is the thing behind his... Oh. What is the thing behind his head? It's like his jaw is too open. He's like a snake man.
Yeah, he's not a man.
Oh, gosh. I mean, I should have been able to tell just because I don't see the force of a great typhoon.
Like, so we got like this bubbling brook.
A bubbling brook? That brings me... So he's not a man, like a man, because he doesn't have speed. He's not swift like a coursing river. He's slow like a bubbling brook.
Yeah, so this is the bubbling brook.
So he's
like,
wild. What's the opposite of a forest? Tranquil is if he's like wild like a desert.
wild like a desert.
And slow as a bubbling brook.
Yeah, he's maybe slower than a bubbling brook.
What's the opposite of the force of a great typhoon? So he's like...
What's the opposite of a typhoon?
So he's like weak as
a light breeze. So like
weak as a light breeze.
There's like this light breeze that's like blowing him over.
That makes it look like he's like shooting webs out of his mouth.
It's the light breeze.
Oh, I see. Is he making it with his...
No, it's... pushing
snake
him
mouth?
over. Like the reason he's like falling.
Oh, I thought he was like
breeze.
kicking or walking, but no.
The light breeze is knocking him over.
Could be that he's walking next. Is he in the bubbling brook?
No, he's next to it.
All right. Let's see. What else makes you like a man that this man does not possess? or this snake creature.
There's a rock here.
Does he have all the strength of a raging fire?
A raging fire. What's the opposite?
Like a puddle.
Like a puddle.
Yeah. All the weakness.
How do you show him like failing into a puddle? Like there's just there's a puddle under his foot. You stepped right in it. There's just the one puddle.
Yeah, he's like slipping.
He's like slipping out
because he's so weak.
He's also being blown over by the breeze.
Yeah. So the opposite.
Yeah.
It's a lot of.
And he's like screaming. That's the wild. The desert.
So his tongue sticking out so loud.
Well, because he's also like dehydrated because of the desert. Oh gosh. He's right next to a creek, standing in a puddle, but he's like dehydrated
because he's in a desert.
Yeah, he's like sweating
because he's not. He's not. It's just the tranquil thing. Like he's so not tranquil. He's so
dripping,
wild that his
dripping sweat.
But he has the desertness of his wildness. The last thing I think then is he's not. Is he as mysterious as the dark side of the moon?
He like glows.
Oh, so he is like the moon.
No, like the sun.
So he's like
glowing. Like he can't sneak up on anyone. He's just like glowing.
What's the opposite of the dark side of the moon? The sun.
Yeah, the sun.
What's the opposite of mysterious? Like
blunt.
Blunt as the front side of the sun.
He's like glowing and yelling.
I'm
attacking you. He's just like yelling that.
So wait, are we saying that this is what women are like?
No, this is not a man.
Okay, just not a...
Like we saw from Mulan that women can be like a man.
But this is not like a man.
Yeah. This is like... It's different. It's like how...
You're telling me.
It's like how...
different.
You could say the opposite of love is hate, but you could also say it's apathy. This is like the apathy.
This is the apathy.
This is he's not a man, he's not a woman. Because he doesn't have any of the pros of being a woman.
I'm not even sure he's human, which is really the problem. Like, not a man. Like, that's the thing. You read a lot of things, and it's like, it says man, and you're like, this is just talking about all humans, all humans, right?
Yeah.
This is like another species all together. Like, you like land your spaceship on a planet, and you look down and you see this, and you're like,
but it's like one of the few stories that doesn't even exist where like the humans are the superior race.
Because they come down with the force of a typhoon and like a raging fire, and
it's just like this guy just like tripping on every puddle and being blown over by the wind.
He's like sweating profusely because he's so wild, like a desert. And he
like the humans just like land on this planet and they just like see the people that are just like, we should help them by conquering them.
Yeah,
they need
something like our human help. Why does he have a stick?
Well, he's like a fighting. He's like a quarterstaff wielding bow staff. Whatever.
So this is like a soldier on
this
this planet.
Soldier on this planet. This is the soldier out
the human army just like breathes heavily and they all fall down. So they're already in a puddle and exhausted from being so wild. Like there would be something slightly intimidating about this.
And like you would think, oh, it's like a hot day, but it like I'm gonna draw like a cloud covering this. It's like it's not a hot day. There's clouds. It's breezy.
It's like a pleasant, like
pleasant
70-degree afternoon, and here comes the splash, 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 like screaming his head off, glowing,
but not glowing in like a glorious way.
No, glowing like the front side of the sun.
Yeah.
He's as what did we say the opposite of mysterious was? As blunt as the front side of the sun.
Just, I'm attacking you.
Oh man.
Well,
this guy would never defeat the Huns. That's all I'm saying.
That was my
So,
point.
like, after the humans come to this planet and they're like, okay, we've got some training to do. They, like, break out the Mulan soundtrack.
Yeah, well, I mean, have you ever trained for war without playing that soundtrack?
You know, the last time I trained for war, that's all I listened to, really.
Mhm.
Except for that time when my iPod got stuck on reflection and I was crying, thinking about my reflection not being really what I feel in the inside. But then I went straight back to the typhoon and the sun and the moon, and I remembered.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, it was great.
Yep.
This guy, there's still something wrong with his head and his mouth and his nose, and it's like it's like a Mr. Potato Head face. Like, I feel like you could take his nose off. Like,
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, like the way his like ear is like attached to the nose and mouth, it's weird.
yeah, but I mean that'd be a pretty cool alien race where like facial features, you just like you take all your facial features off and you just look like you've all seen a Mr. Potato Head with like nothing on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a potato with holes. Imagine if your face looked like that and you could just like choose the ears and nose and mouth and everything for like a week.
Yeah, and like you want to change emotion, you like literally change the piece.
Or if you want to hide your emotions.
Mm-hmm. You change the piece.
Yeah. So you're like
Yeah,
you're
they're
really
like-
upset, but you're wearing your
They're like good at poker. It's nothing else. Like they're not
Oh,
good.
no.
Like they don't
They're
know
too wild for
how to
poker.
like because they just like scream what they have.
Uh,
like I'm bluffing you.
yeah. No, these non-mans are really the worst.
Yep.
But, you know, that's why we have a song for them. It is like, I just imagine the humans looking down out of their spaceships and being like, you know, we could conquer them for their own good, but they just like drop down a CD of the Mulan song.
And just leave. We'll come back later.
Yeah. They come back and they see them all training like Mulan did, like shooting arrows with tomatoes on them, and them training montage is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Like shooting cannons made out of dragon heads and like
Yep.
jumping 50 feet in the air, climbing up really tall poles with weights. Like, they'd get the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would just look like
this is what we expect of you.
mhm.
You can't do this.
Maybe humans should drop like the whole movie.
Yeah.
Not like the live action remake. That'd just make them worse than they already were. Because there's no motivational song in that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good movie.
It is not a good movie because it doesn't have the songs.
But it didn't have Mushu, which made it better.
Mushu is the best part of the year. Don't end this on this note. This polarizing commentary of yours. You're gonna make all the fans hate you. I don't want that for you. Everyone loves the
If
animated
my fans like Mushu, they're allowed to hate me.
Benj, you don't have any fans left then. Means
You're saying people like Mushu?
they do like Mushu.
That's impossible.
What's not to like about Mushu?
But everything he says and does.
Like, we at least agree that Cri-Kee, Cricket.
The cricket was in the live action movie.
Yeah, he's the best character.
Okay. Fine. We can agree with that. Especially the live action version.
I guess I can't do this with you anymore. We should just go. See you
Bye.
next time. I'm supposed to say see you next time, and then you're supposed to say, but you cut off the see you next time.
You started when I was already
Well, it's
saying bye.
because they couldn't tell what your lips were doing. They were behind the microphone.
Yeah. I said bye.
Mushu forever.
As always, we're surprised you made it this far into our video.
There's no way we could possibly ask you to subscribe to this atrocity, so we won't.
We would say share it with your friends, but it's probably better for wasting your enemy's time.
We're probably not going to get any better, but we will keep drawing.
See you next time.